Hello everybody, Jason Meyer here, and we're going to launch today something called just quick tips. So the goal is under 15 minutes and to give you guys some solid knowledge that you can take right now and use in your work this afternoon. Okay, so without any fanfare or further ado, let's get into this. So today we're going to focus on shapes. And it's a little uncomfortable, I know, talking about your shapes and sharing your shapes, but it's time we all grew up a little bit and had the triangle talk. So let's head over to the iPad and sit down and have our little talk. So first off, why simple shapes? Well, and the answer is simple shapes are easy to, one, draw, which means you're going to use less energy doing it. And as you get to be a more and more experienced artist and want to do more and more with your work, that energy level is going to be key. So we want to save our energy at the beginning. So it's very, very, very important that at the very beginning, we're able to see things and control things very simply. So simple shapes are easy to draw. They're easy to move around your canvas or your paper so that you can get them where you want them. And they're easy to resize so that you can decide how big or small and where on your canvas you want to place these shapes without expending much energy. Okay, so it's quick and efficient. So all of these things give you more control with less effort. Okay, so that's the why behind all of this. What about the how? Okay, so if we're just to start, let's just drop a line right there. We can all do that. It's pretty easy. Straight across. And we're going to connect those. So that's a triangle. So anybody can draw a triangle. You know, we're not really worried about being super straight or all the, this isn't about perfection. This is about size and placement. So that's way, way too big. What we're talking about is a castle that's way across the valley. So maybe that's more important. No. What about the window we're looking through to see? Well, okay. So do you guys see where I'm going here? See how easy it is just to make up my mind where I want this and place it and even test out, does it look good over there? Does it look good here? Where does it look good? So again, that is the importance of starting simply. So let's say, just for argument's sake, that we decide that this is our size and placement. Yeah, well, that was simple and easy, Jason, but it kind of looks bad. It's boring. I followed your instructions and I'm not very happy. Okay. One step at a time. So how could we make this more dynamic? And let's, again, take it one step at a time. Why don't we focus on this corner? And what if we take that corner and simply move it over while everything else stays where it's at? We won't move the rest of our corners. Then that might look like, if we take that spot there, and if we redrew our triangle, we would have that, right? And hopefully you all can see how much more dynamic that is. Okay, so a lot of this is very, very simple. Now notice what most people want to do, or most students when they're starting out, is when we say make it dynamic, they're going to take this and they're going to move it over here. They're going to take that point and move it up there, and then they're going to take that point and move it over here. And what's going to happen is you're going to lose control or what's happening with all these things. So again, this isn't taking a lot of time or energy. So just move one at a time. Okay, and then let's go back to our basic triangle. Right, so then we can move these points easily. What else is something we can do? Well, straight lines, and let's pretend that's a straight line, is manufactured. And what I mean by that is that man has put his hand on it and straightened it out, taking it from nature, taking the naturalness out of it and making it more manufactured, geometric, so to speak. For our purposes, that definition will work. Versus nature, you're not going to find straights, but you're going to find curves, right? Everything's going to be built on curves. So if we took that idea and use curves instead of lines, we get a more dynamic painting again, or image, shape. Okay, so we've seen that we can draw lines, right? Move the points, and that can become more dynamic. Or instead of lines, we can use curves. So what would happen if we did all of that at once? So what if we move that over there, right? And then we had this one here. If we curved in like this, and we curved out like that, and who knows? I mean, you could do a lot of things. We could even do that. Now, how different, how much more exciting and dynamic is that than that? Okay, and do you see how easy that was? So all of you could very easily do this. All right, so let's take our newfound knowledge here and stick it into the real world. So we have a new class starting tomorrow, and in that new class, we're going to start with basics, but the basics are also where the finish is, where the sophistication is. So let's go from black to red just so you can clearly see what I'm doing here. And can everybody pretty easily see we've got a triangle? So you should easily be able to place that on the canvas, the whole thing, get the size, move it around to exact with no problem whatsoever. But once you decide where you want it to be, that triangle isn't quite as useful anymore, is it? No, it's not, Jason. Well, all right. Let's do something about that. So let's take that there, and we'll put this one here, and let's just take this one down here a little bit. Whoop. We're actually going to really do that, aren't we? Which is going to make it even better. Boom. Okay, so when you're trying to find your size and placement, look how easy that was and look how dynamic you've got. Now we can decide, do we really want it going corner to corner to corner? Would we like some room so we could move up to it? So maybe start this back up there. Do we really want to be pushing right to the edge, or would we rather have a little bit of space so it, well, it's pretty easy, right? We could start over and say, okay, what if we made our triangle more that size? Well, then if we did, it would be very easy then to go back and do what we did without spending a lot of energy. Okay, so I hope that was helpful for you guys. And again, it's all about more dynamic shapes. More dynamic shapes, right? So we can start with the triangle. And there's two things we can do. One, we can move the points, the ends, the connections of the triangle. Or two, turn the lines into curves. Okay? So then if we did that, we'd end up with a shape like that, which is much, much, much more dynamic. Okay, so I hope that helped everybody out. Again, this was just a little quick tip. We're practicing these up. Oil painting can take a long time. And what I'm trying to do is see if we can't develop some 10 or 15 minute little things to help you get in and out and back to work. Okay, if you're around tonight, we'll have Sketch Club live at 6:55. So come back, sketch for 20 minutes, and we'll see you then. All right. Thanks, everybody.